As we speak, the House Rules Committee is still reviewing the $901 billion 2026 Defense Authorization Act ahead of a scheduled Wednesday vote. The bill strengthens America's military posture, supports key allies in Europe, the Middle East, and the Indo-Pacific, and it pushes back on China's growing aggression. Joining me now live from Capitol Hill is Washington Stand reporter Casey Harper, who has been following today's main stories. Casey, a bit cold out there tonight, but unpack for us the 3,000-page National Defense Authorization Act.
Yeah, thanks, Tony. I'm here at the Capitol, as you mentioned, and lawmakers here are working on this bill, which shows that the U.S. intends to stay engaged overseas. It provides support to Ukraine and the Baltic states, and it keeps solid American troop levels in Europe. This legislation also tightens oversight of U.S. investments tied to important and sensitive Chinese technology. However, a 2023 provision that required U.S. companies to report investments in sensitive technologies abroad, including AI chips, was dropped from the final bill. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer commented on this from the Senate floor earlier today.
Donald Trump, you're letting China control our future. You're selling us out. All so you can have a little one-day ego gain of making some kind of announcement, which no one's going to believe anyway. Donald Trump should listen to his own DOJ about the danger of giving China these chips before cutting stupid deals that cost America dearly.
On top of that, some conservative lawmakers have raised concerns about the bill's provisions to lift sanctions on Syria. Also, of course, Israel is a central priority. This bill supports the Iron Dome and David's Sling, and it requires routine checks to ensure Israel gets the supplies that it needs. The NDAA also drops the plan to rename the Department of Defense the Department of War, citing its high costs. Now, as we noted on yesterday's show, Tony, there was an effort to mandate coverage for in vitro fertilization, which is also very expensive, by the way, but it was killed due to pro-life concerns. So, a lot of updates and a lot of things going on here behind me, Tony.
All right, Casey, appreciate that. Out across the country, redistricting remains a major issue. Indiana is one step closer to a new congressional map after yesterday Senate committee vote there in Indiana. What else do we know about that?
That's right, Tony. So Indiana State Senate advanced a new congressional map on Monday, aiming to strengthen the GOP representation. Now, this plan, like many others, would likely give Republicans all 9 U.S. House seats in the state by reshaping those Democratic-leaning areas in the northwest part of the state, like Indianapolis. Now, as well as Indianapolis, rather. Now, supporters say it's a chance to counter Democratic gerrymandering in other states. And as you know, this move follows similar efforts in states like California, Texas, and Missouri, as both parties position themselves ahead of next year's midterm elections. Now, the full Senate is expected to vote on Thursday, and the measure is widely expected to pass, Tony.
Interesting. We'll be watching that one very closely. Let's turn now to international news. Ukraine. Casey, bring us up to speed on the latest in those peace negotiations between Ukraine and Russia.
Sure, Tony. So Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, he says that Kiev and its European partners are almost ready to give the U.S. an updated peace plan. This is really their rebuttal. Now, these talks follow days of intense diplomacy in London with British, French, and German leaders. Now, Zelensky, he's been pushing back on the U.S.-backed plan, saying that it favors Moscow too heavily. He won't give up any territory to Russia and wants firm security guarantees to stop future aggression. Now, the Finnish president says allies are working on 3 important documents. One is a 20-point peace framework. Another is a set of security guarantees, to put some details on that. And the third's a reconstruction plan. He says this is the closest the sides have come to a possible deal. Meanwhile, President Trump is pressuring Zelensky to move faster.
A little bit disappointed that President Zelensky hasn't yet read the proposal. That was as of a few hours ago. His people love it, but he hasn't. Russia's fine with it. Russia, I guess, would rather have the whole country, what do you think of it? But Russia is, I believe, fine with it, but I'm not sure that Zelensky is fine with it. His people love it.
Now, he argues Russia has the upper hand, and he warns Ukraine may need to accept tough terms. Putin is still demanding control of the entire Donbas region, something Zelensky refuses to allow. Tony.
All right, Casey. Well, as I said, I know it's chilly out there. Go ahead and get a cup of hot chocolate on me.
Thanks, Tony.